So, what do we do? We came to the end of our conversation. We kept asking the question, what do we do? Are charter schools helping in this situation? Are they hurting? Is it an issue of just fundraising in the community more? What do we have to do?
I would like, the first thing I think is to truly see transparent spending from our government, which is not what happened, because I would really love to know the percentage of funding for education compared to everything else. I don't know this, and I don't even know if it's able to be known.
Well, at the national level, it's only about 3% of our federal budget. Obviously, education primarily is the responsibility of the states, and as he mentioned, Illinois is horrible in terms of that. So, but I can tell you from knowing this that the portion of our spending in the state, our two major expenditures, even with all that, are healthcare and education. So we're not spending a lot of money on education, but compared to other things,
Still are.
we are.
But there aren't very many other things that the state is responsible for.
Well, okay.
Healthcare,
That's a good point.
Right, healthcare and
Sure.
education.
And safety.
Right.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
So
Yeah.
again, I keep asking the question that there are different proposals to raise money. One of them is tax professional services, tax services. And I think there was some attempt to do so and it failed. I don't know if it needs a constitutional, well,
See,
I'm a lawyer, so
Yeah.
I work for a low-cost, not-for-profit legal corporation, and even then, we have to modify our fees for our clients.
Okay.
But our clients would have to pay taxes.
But
Your
here's the
dental clients would have to pay taxes.
And here's a question: is a new tax the way out of this thing? Because once again, we were just talking about the lottery, and we've had revenue sources that have not gone where they're supposed to go. So, say hypothetically we raise taxes on services for particularly education. What happens when that money gets tapped into because of pension issues or something like that?
Well, when Troy brought up the 2/3 of the eligible students earlier in the show, if people understood that and then the policymakers, the politicians had to address that, it might be a solvable issue. But what they do is they circumvent the whole process, don't let people understand what's going on, or people don't understand what's going on. I'm not saying that they don't let them understand what's going on. And therefore, if there was a possible way to solve the problem and people understand what the problem is, it would get addressed. Here it's not getting addressed. It's just being tabled off, put off. Later on we'll worry about it.
Okay.
And so that's basically how we're handling it.
Well, think about this, and I hate to, I really try not to be partisan on these shows, and so I tend to throw, insults and compliments on both sides of the aisle. But one of the things that the Republicans tend to do, which I think may be a little bit overly simplistic, however, there's a point. If we're looking at these questions around the recession, right? So we're seeing that budgets are shrinking because of these communities not having as much money, then is the issue not just finding new ways to fund schools, but finding ways to build economically so that people are actually able to have more money?
Colleges is a perfect example of
I mean,
the College
larger
to
tax
Careers
base.
program. That is an excellent example of preparing students with skills that could then be translated into jobs or hopefully going on to
You're right.
higher education.
Absolutely.
So more programs such as that and more places
I agree with you
coming to the
100%.
table
Yeah.
and be willing to take on interns to get practical experience. So I think, again, City Colleges is showing the way.
Yes, shameless plug for City Colleges, but a good plug because you're right.
I wouldn't say it if I didn't think it.
I do totally, personally feel that the economy of this country would solve if we made more things, if we had more of the market share. We would
excellent point.
We would solve so many of these issues because there would
Excellent
be
point.
more money in the pool.
Yes.
The problem is
Uh-oh.
that you need educated people
Uh-oh.
to do this. So it's
yes.
like you have to spend money to make money.
It's a catch-22.
It kind of
Which
is
came
this way.
first, the chicken or the egg, right? The education or the economic benefit? And you're right, we need to do both. And to her point, City Colleges may be that right balance in between. We're looking long term, but these are some pretty short-term solutions as well. Someone can come out of here in 2-3 years and have a career and be able to be upwardly mobile. And that's very important.
And hopefully go on to a 4-year school
Absolutely.
and get a higher degree.
Wonderful.
And-
I'm sorry.
So that's all right.
We're out of time.
That's all right.
But thank you guys so much. This was very good, and we will continue.